Thank you for logging on to the TeamCast for the week of Monday, October 26th through Friday the 30th. Hello, I'm Mr. Andrews,
And I'm Miss Worst.
and here's what's happening on our team this week.
Looking forward to the week of October 26th. We are almost done with the month of October and a beginning of our second quarter. Congratulations on completing all of those online assessments. Good job. Coming up, we are going to wrap up our literacy lab unit. So we're going to finish up with some skill sheets in our writer's notebook. We'll be finishing up our 2 alien texts. Hopefully you've had a chance to do the Friday assignment. That was to read chapters 10 through 12 and respond to the summary question on our discussion board on the ELA Canvas page. Then we're going to introduce and get into our next unit. This is for quarter 2, and this will be on ecosystems. And these are the 2 activity books that you picked up at the pickup event a few weeks ago. I'm really excited about this research unit and learning about ecosystems and all the different habitats that make up our world. So be ready to wrap up and start up. In science, for the upcoming week, we'll just kind of reflect and look back at some of the matter and thermal energy topics that we talked about and that we were assessed on. And then we're going to head into 2.1, which in your STEM scopes, which is about energy and specifically how energy impacts weather, and especially what it has to do with a water cycle. And so we'll be back in our STEM scopes activities. We'll also be in pages 20 and 21 in our little ed notebooks. So be ready to talk about the water cycle. And we look forward to Professor coming back as well.
During the math portion of our school week this week, we are going to be reviewing lessons 1 and 2, and we're going to continue in our module 2 with lessons 3, 4, and 5 later in the week. So on Monday, we will be reviewing lessons 1 and 2. I want to encourage students to go back and take a look at those problems that we were solving a week and a half ago now. And I think once you take a gander at those, you're going to say, I got this, I remember it. We are going to review a little bit on Monday. We will have our lesson 1 and 2, topic A, from module 2's assessment on Tuesday. Then on Tuesday, we're going to begin lesson 3. Now, lesson 3 is going to pick up and accelerate a bit with our multiplying multi-digit numbers. And so the number complexity is going to go up, and we're also going to try to continue to remember the things that we learned with lessons 1 and 2, place value, zeros in the factors, and reasonableness. And so as we grow this week, lessons 3, 4, and 5 are going to show a lot more complexity. We're going to use area models to be able to help us to be able to see what's really happening on the inside of a standard algorithm as we develop our understanding and a better use of using the algorithm by the end of the week. In science this week in my homeroom, we are going to be working with the water cycle, and we're going to talk about how it relates to our upcoming weather and climate unit that we're going to be going through in the coming weeks, pretty much all of November. And I want to encourage students and families to be very much weather aware with daily changes and occurrences with our weather. Make that part of your drive time conversation, maybe conversation around the dinner table, but weather needs to become very, very topical, and it all begins with the water cycle.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S., he's at a capital. Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
So where in the United States could I possibly be this week? Well, let's go ahead and give you some clues, starting with the state capitol building. Here's my selfie, me and Mrs. Andrews. This particular year, they were working on the building's dome. I think it was 2016 when they did that. And we were there on July 3rd. It was right before uh, Independence Day. So they had some red, white, and blue things all around, but also scaffolding around the Capitol. Even though Native Americans already had lived there, the Vikings were probably the very first Europeans to discover the state about 1,000 years ago. Now, they didn't stay, but they're the first Europeans to probably set foot in this particular state. Here's a kind of a fun fact. Both this state and Minnesota claim to be the birthplace of the lumber industry and the birthplace of Paul Bunyan. Here I'm standing with this Titan-sized statue that in this city is the character of the American legend. This statue is 31 feet high and weighs 3,700 pounds. I know that because I didn't really lift it up, but it's almost 2 tons. I read it on the plaque. And that's not even including the double-sided axe and the lumberjack's peavey. So had to go by and get my picture taken with this huge Paul Bunyan. This state is one of the world's largest pulp paper producers, and it turns out all kinds of wood products, everything from boats to toothpicks, and everything in between that has something to do with wood. Acadia National Park is the second most visited park in the United States, only behind Yellowstone. And in Acadia, you can visit Cadillac Mountain and Jordan Pond House. And at Jordan Pond House, I had to go because I'd heard about the popular popovers. Popovers are a delicious treat. It's kind of like a roll, but it's sweet. And it's hollow on the inside, and when you break it open, the steam comes out. You put a pat of butter on the inside, let it begin to melt because of conduction, and then you put a little bit of strawberry preserves, which they supply, and it makes a nice afternoon tea and popover snack. So I have brought that home to North Carolina, and I make them quite often. I love them that much. If you've never had a popover, you've got to have popovers. In this particular state, the city of Eastport is the most eastern city in the United States. This is the only state in the United States who has a one-syllable name. This state produces 99% of the blueberries in the country. This state has over 5,000 miles of coastline, over 2,000 islands, and 63 lighthouses. This is a very special state. There's so many more things that I could say about it, such as the moose that occupy. I think there's more moose in this state than there are people as far as populations are concerned. Yeah, I went in through that one in there. Well, I look forward to seeing if you can come up with this state's name and the correct spelling for its capital. So both of them have to be spelled correctly for Canvas to recognize it as a correct answer. Let's see, we have 19 people who were able to come up with the correct state of North Dakota and spell it and its capital city of Bismarck correctly. Bismarck was going to be a little bit tricky, and a couple of you, about 3, spelled Bismarck a little bit fancier than it really is supposed to be. So, congratulations to those of you who were able to come up with Bismarck, North Dakota, spelled correctly. Macy and Olivia, Cannon, Ryan, Aaron, Costa, Alexa, I didn't set off my device, Lucas, Sarah, Evelyn, Kennedy, Paxton, Liam, Rice, Reagan, Scalcione, Lily, Lauren, Anna Claire, Gavin, and Allie. Congratulations to those people, and thanks to all the people who tried. Now, give it another try this week, and remember, you've got to spell the name of the state correctly and the capital city's name correctly. Otherwise, Canvas doesn't recognize it. And well, to be quite honest with you, if you research it, you should be able to find the correct spellings. Good luck, and I wish you best.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S. He's at a capital. Which one will we learn about this week?
And we look forward to a great learning week together.